Hi, this is Morgan Smith, financial advisor and partner with WorthPointe. And I'm here with Apollo Lupesco, vice president at Dimensional Fund Advisors. And I'm just introducing a series of videos I'm really excited about for my existing clients and anybody who's interested in having the more opportunity for successful outcomes with their wealth and finances. So first off, I want to talk a little bit about why we're going to talk about what we're doing, what exactly are the myths, and introduce Apollo for us. So first, a little bit on why Apollo. When I think about this, working with my clients, look at oftentimes, you might want to ask yourself, okay, why are we focusing on investments? Really, my role with my clients is to focus on holistic financial planning and looking at everything. But the way I look at it with uh, financial plans and the investments, the way I like to look at it, it's kind of like a car. So you create a financial plan. A financial plan's a car, and the wheels are the investments. So you can create a good financial plan, and if the wheels fall off, you've got this nice looking financial plan and a car sitting on the side of the road. And so we really feel that the core focus is financial planning, but the investments are important, and that's why we're going to talk about some of these things. So when I was thinking about this, I realized that there are basically two sources of misconceptions on investing. One is external, the media, talking to your friends, what you're reading, those kinds of things. And the second misconception comes from internal factors, and that's that wide body of science that you know about, behavioral science, how our emotions and how they affect how we think. So basically, what I want to do this for is for people that are looking at their statements and either they're in kind of the strategies that we're using, this investment philosophy, and they're saying, okay, now why am I doing this again? Because I need to be reminded on why I'm doing this. Sometimes it feels like you're going upwind and upriver. And the other is for folks that really have never heard about some of this research, and hopefully you can give us a good perspective on that. So let's take a look at the 10 myths. Number one, successful investors need to time the market. Number two, markets in the economy behave the same. Number three, dominant companies perform best. Number four, active stock picking gives the best results. Number five, academic research doesn't help the real world. Number six, inflation hurts the stock market. Number seven, bonds have no role in the portfolio. Number eight, Fed rate increases hurt the stock market. Number nine, elections and political events affect the stock market. And number 10, it's different at this time. So in each of these upcoming videos, we're going to separate these out. We're going to address each of these topics. And I've got all of us have the good fortune of meeting and listening to Apollo Lupesco. Apollo, once again, is a vice president at Dimensional Fund Advisors. He's got his doctorate, his PhD, and affectionately known as the Secretary of Explaining. Why is that? Well, he goes around the country speaking with audiences on investment issues and really giving perspective to folks. And it's a real honor and pleasure to have him kind of talk about these things with me as your host. So, as I mentioned, Apollo works with Dimensional Fund Advisors. This is a fund company that we often use to build our client portfolios. You've got about 600 billion with B in assets, and you've been with DFA for 20 years. And again, as I mentioned, PhD in economics and finance at UC Santa Barbara. Rumor has it you're a fighting water polo player, and you're learning how to surf. So.
Yep, it's a big sport around here.
So before we get into these 10 videos, why do you like talking about these things, Apollo?
Well, first of all, Morgan, thank you so much for having me. The reason I like talking about it because I find there's so much noise out there in the media, and there's such a level of jargon that the industry has promoted, not necessarily to clarify things, but perhaps make it more confusing than it has to be. and this ability to cut through the noise and be able to make it more understandable and help people basically navigate these times and get just a more understandable perspective, I think is huge. Because it can relieve a bit of the anxiety, can give some perspectives and an understanding that perhaps they did not have before. So I love the idea of helping people, go through these times and perhaps, realize that some of the things that they hear out there in the media might not be exactly what the data and evidence shows.
Well, great. It's something I'm a big proponent of and always speak to my clients and prospective clients about, and just folks who I'm talking to. But it's always great to have a great another voice with perspective, with somebody that's really speaking around the nation about these things. So we'll see you next time on the First Myth, Apollo. Appreciate the introduction here, and we'll talk soon.
Look forward to it.